With Grubby currently 1-0 up, this is going to end up being the last series, I suspect, of the evening, guys. Okay, so let's get ready to rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it looks like this is going to be the last game of the evening. We're hopping into game number 2 of a potential best of 3 here, and we're going to be spawning on Deadwing between two very accomplished players. But in the bottom left, currently 1-0 up and only needing one extra game to make his way into the 8 that will move on to qualifying day 2. It's one of the world's most loved pro gamers. It's Grubby. And he's going up against somebody here in the top right, spawning as the yellow Zerg player. And contrary to the name Steelmaker, we know him as Slivko. Slivko, of course, known for being an extremely, extremely solid Zerg player. And well, he should be able to give Grubby a run for his money on a good day. So we'll keep an eye out to see what he does on Deadwing. Extremely big map, lots of great potential for long macro play here. And Grubby is going to be starting off with a Forge at his natural expansion there. You can see the third base is relatively easy to take compared to the natural, as long as you can defend this big ramp here. There's no additional ramp moving up to the natural expansion. So Grubby is going to be starting with that Forge. Both sides will be scouting pretty quickly indeed. And, well, it looks like he's scouting in an interesting pattern at the moment, but is now going across positions. And I think he went up there, by the way, to see if an Overlord would have made its way down here in this time. That's what Grubby was doing. So that he can immediately eliminate the possibility of Slivko being up here without having to send his probe all the way to the top left of the map. So that's a pretty cool, useful timing to know. And he is in fact going to confirm. The Slivko is here and has gone for his hatchery and then his pool. So nothing out of the ordinary here as far as our Protoss player is concerned. Grubby isn't going to be worried about this at all. He's just going to be continuing on grabbing that Nexus down on the low ground. And, yeah, not too much going on just yet. So those of you in chat, hopefully you've enjoyed day 1 here of the broadcast. This is going to be the last game before we move into day number 2. Now, for those of you who have just joined us or don't know from earlier, the top 8 qualifiers, so basically getting to the quarterfinal stage of day 1, are going to be moving in to a 16-player double elimination bracket online tomorrow. And of that 16-player double elimination bracket, 2 of them will get fully paid slots to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose main event in December. So only 2 of those 16. There will be 8 players from this tournament. You might be wondering, well, where are the other 8? And the answer is they will be invited. So I don't know the full names of those 8. They're on, though, the reference page. I will double check straight after this cast and let you guys know, because we'll end up having the names of all 16 players to hand. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that. Unfortunately, I don't have a spare computer or a co-caster next to me who can take a look at those figures very quickly indeed, but that's fine, because we have all the time in the world tonight, guys. Don't even worry about it. So Twilight Council coming down now for Grubby. At the same time, Slivko takes his third base. He might be going for some sort of blink play. We can see here there's actually a reasonable amount of scope to blink up past the debris and all that. This middle ground makes things a little bit less friendly, but look at how much space there is to potentially blink into the bottom of the main base. He could be going for that. So we'll just see where he chooses to place his resources at this moment in time. And no, it's not going to be for Blink at all, actually. We're going to see the Dark Shrine coming out from Grubby here in game number 2. Very, very interesting indeed. I wonder if that's got something to do with the way Slivko is scouted. So Slivko so far hasn't actually seen very much inside the bases of Grubby, and this photon cannon has actually dissuaded scouts into the natural expansion at all. So I wonder if Grubby's thinking to himself, well, if my opponent doesn't scout me, maybe I can actually do something a little bit more sneaky this game and get away with getting large amounts of damage done. It's certainly not something you see in very many games these days. The Dark Shrine normally not coming down first. We usually see it a lot later in games as of late. So Grubby opting to utilize this a little bit earlier on this particular occasion. We'll wait and see what the results are from that. In the meantime, the Roach one is about to complete for Slivko. He's not quite connected these 2 bases by creep, but for all intents and purposes, that looks connected now. He's feeling pretty safe on his 3 bases. Just going to get a Spine Crawler to be additionally safe against potential Zealot run-bys or something like that, because bear in mind, this is a very big rapid. It is a lot of area to defend, so static defense could end up being useful here. Getting us, a Spore Crawler here for good measure. Has he spotted the Dark Shrine? He has not. But he has spotted the 3rd base going down. He has seen a lack of a Mothership Core, a Zealot Stalker sort of harassment or anything like that. And he's thinking to himself, well, hang on a second. Something doesn't feel right here. So we're going to wait and see what happens. The pylon now for Grubby has finished. Are we going to see Dark Templars walk in? No, just a single Zealot. And actually, well, this Zergling spots everything here. In fact, we're going to see the Dark Templars move on to creep from the south side, and there is the Spore Crawler. So maybe the lack of harassment there earlier in the game has made Slivko go, hang on a second, what's going on here? I don't see evidence of a starport. My overlords are all alive, so no phoenixes are taking them down. There are no oracles out the back. And now we see these Dark Templars definitely get killed off from these roaches and links, thanks to the help of a friendly overseer. So Slivko completely denying any sort of damage here. But at the same time, Grubby's only lost 2 Dark Templars. He'll have the Dark Shrine for the rest of the game. He can use these units to morph into Archons. He's lost the element of surprise in some resources, but otherwise that's that for now. So we'll see what ends up happening moving later on into this game. The supplies are currently 104 versus 72. And, well, Slivko's sitting quite pretty at the moment. His 4th base is nearly done. He's got 74 workers, so he's feeling alright. Grubby, in the meantime, still only on 50 workers, but he does have a sizable army. A lot of sentries there. And, well, we'll see how much longer it takes for him to get saturated on these 3 bases, or if he actually just wants to do some sort of game-ending attack now. He's warping in a lot of Stalkers here, but the economy from Slivko is very, very good. If he continues to make these roaches count, and don't forget he's got Infestors on the way now as well, ladies and gentlemen, which I'm very excited about. Pathogen Glands now completing. If he's able to hold this off, then economically he will just be in a better position than Grubby, and be in a good position to tie this best-of-3 series up 1-1. Let's wait and see. The armies passing each other right now. Slivko going, hang on a second, I definitely need to defend this. A fantastic fungal growth to start off the engagement, and a second one goes down as well. But where is the DPS to follow it up? The roaches. There's a 3rd fungal growth. Oh, wow. With this many infestors, I think he should be able to hold off this attack quite well indeed. The Spore Crawler and the Spine are doing a good job in the middle of the map. Are we going to see additional fungal growths come down from those infestors? Yes, we are. Blinking out of it, but it's not going to be enough. GG. And Slivko, ladies and gentlemen, takes game number 2. Which means that this series is going into a deciding 3rd map to decide who's going to end up being the last 16 qualifier in tomorrow's double elimination bracket.